So today we're taking a look at the Heavy Harvest tea bags. This is the large tea bag, and we've been using this for a few months now. It was really cool to see the difference of this tea bag versus the older tea bags that we use, like the burlap bags or paint strainer bags. We didn't change our tea recipe at all, but what we saw was a significant difference in biological production in this tea brewer after changing out to this tea bag, because we created not only a bigger chamber for the substrate to be able to move through, get aerated, and get mixed up, but we also added a higher level micron, which actually we found some research that this micron tea bag actually allows biology to flow through a lot easier than the smaller, more fine micron materials. So we actually went through 2 different microns before we came out with this size micron, which is working excellent. And tons of our customers have asked us if we've changed our tea recipe, and we haven't. All we've done is change the tea bag. So what I'm going to show you real quick is a tea recipe that we use here at Monster Gardens. This is a tea recipe our in-store customers buy. We use high-quality earthworm castings whenever we're making our tea batch. Now this measuring cup does 2 cups, and what we do is what ends up being about 12 cups of material. So it's about 6 of these beakers. And you can always go, a little overboard on it. There's 5. There's 6, and we'll do a 1/4 cup for good measure. So this is our earthworm castings. Your earthworm casting is your biological bed. So what we need now is a carbohydrate for the biology in these earthworm castings to thrive in. And the carbohydrate we're going to be using today is actually a liquid one. We're going to just use some Mendocino honey today. So because we're using a 35-gallon brewer, and this tea bag is actually made for a brewer up to 1,500 gallons, is we just basically twist over the top just like so, till we get to a place where we have maybe about half or 1/4 of the bag unfull. So this works for us here. And then you just simply clasp it and you hang it in your brewer off of one of these tabs. Now this tea bag is so versatile because it can be used all the way from a 20-gallon brewer up to a 1,500-gallon brewer with this one tea bag. Now the stitching on this is made for long-lasting activity. So this is a tea bag you can wash and wash and wash over again or simply rinse out, but it's really made for many, many years worth of use. So this is the last tea bag you will ever buy, and we made it so it's extremely easy to clean out. Now the way we typically clean this out is we literally just, when we're done with it, flip it inside out, spray everything off, let it sit in the sun for a little while, and go right back to brewing again. So this is a tea bag that's really easy to clean, long-lasting, has a versatile use from different gallon-sized brewers, and has easy closing clasp and hanging tabs for you to hang off the brewer. So here's our tea brewer right here. This is actually a 35-gallon brewer that we had here in the store, and we fill this guy up about once a day. Now this brewer has a little hook that we can hang a bag off of, so of course we're just going to utilize the hook that the brewer comes with. Alright, now that you see the tea bag is in the liquid here, all I do, and this just helps it out, is I just give a little bit of a tug, maybe for about 10 seconds, just to allow the water to work into the material inside. This is really going to speed up the process of everything breaking down and everything becoming available to the carbohydrates, so all the biological activity that's already in these earthworm castings is going to thrive much easier getting access to those carbohydrates. So as I see the water color change a little bit, I know that the substrate is wetted inside and it's also feathering out, which is perfect. Now all I'm going to add is a little bit of carbohydrate. And again today, and we change our carbohydrate quite often, but today we're using a little bit of Mendocino honey. This is probably a bottle that maybe cracked open at the store. Carbohydrates are carbohydrates. People use the word sweetener, but the truth is there's nothing sweet about this, other than the fact that it's the carbohydrate, which is any sugar, is available to the biological activity, so the biological activity can eat the carbohydrate and multiply. Now what will more carbohydrates do? More carbohydrates will simply accelerate the speed of the reproduction of the biological activity. But if you put too much carbohydrates in, what you get is a short shelf life tea, a tea that peaks out a little faster, which might be good if you're trying to brew quicker, but then your brew might not be as active a day or two after. So that's your carbohydrate. So basically what I just added was all the elements that were necessary to increase the biological activity. But what I'm going to add is a little bit of kelp extract, because kelp extract not only is a source that the biological activity can break down, but it's also going to be great for foliage development and root development with plants. This brand Grow More seaweed extract is extremely inexpensive. What I ended up adding is about 4 capfuls of that seaweed extract. And again, this is a 35-gallon brewer. Now here's another brand of Zeus juice. This is an extract from Nectar of the Gods. It's a great one. I'm going to actually, it's a little more of a cocktail of extract. It's a little bit of potash, a little bit of seaweed extract, and I'm just going to add about 2 capfuls of this. Now mostly it'd be Grow More either or with this product or the Grow More seaweed extract, so they're both pretty close to one and the same, but I didn't add that much of the Grow More. We actually just ran out, so I'm just adding some of the Zeus juice. So what I have is our kelp, a little bit of potash. I added the earthworm castings for a biological bed, and I also added some carbohydrates to allow the biology to thrive. Now there's maybe one other thing you might add to this brewer to keep it what we call poop free, and poop free is good. Guanos are great. Guanos are great for tea. But if you want a tea that's more versatile that you can use for this or for that, you maybe don't want to put so much food in it, and just put in some supplements like kelp extract and of course the 2 ingredients to get the production going, which would be the castings and the carbohydrate. Now humus soil is another source of biological activity that people use. Castings, earthworm castings, or humus soil is like an either or type of product. You of course, mix them together. We use castings here at the store because we feel like it works excellent. But if you want to use humus soil, that works great as well. Earthworm castings are definitely a little more environmentally sustainable than humus soil. Now, we've also added at time bone meal to this mixture as well. Bone meal is actually a really cool source, another organic ingredient for the biology to break down and make available to the plants. But today we're not going to be adding bone meal to our tea mix. So now I've added all the components. The next thing to do is basically just turn on the brewer. Let it mix up. We'll come back a little later and we'll take a look at our biological activity.